Hello, everybody. I'm Grandmaster Joel Benjamin. Welcome again to ICC's Banter Blitz. This is where I take on all comers at 3 minutes with 2 second increment. And, it's kind of fun for me because I don't play a lot of chess, period, but I certainly don't play a lot of blitz these days. I used to play all the time when I was younger and unmarried, no kids, and so on. So, as I always say, I'm usually a bit rusty to start off, and that's the best time to get me. But every now and then, I have a difficult game at the end, so you never know where the trouble will come from. But I'm going to see how many I can win. And I see some unfamiliar names in the queue, so maybe that's good. Get some new blood in there. I know we also have our regulars, and I'm thankful that those people want to come back month after month. Appreciate that, and I'll be looking forward to playing those guys as well. So, just a few moments, we will be getting started with the first game. Let me make sure my mouse is handy and ready to go, ready to start clicking when the board pops up. And usually I play with the kind of theme, uh-oh, my board is very small. There, that's better. Okay, so up first is Craig K. My game popped up and my board was very tiny for some reason. So I made it bigger. Now I can see. So starting out with a little Scandinavian. That's an opening. I don't think I've played that yet in Banter Blitz. There was a period when I was playing the Scandinavian for black, but in tournaments, but pretty long time ago by now. Bishop d2. Okay, so he's eyeing my queen with bad intent. I'm gonna go queen b6. You know, the queen tends to retreat to c7 in this opening, and I always wonder why not retreat it to b6. So sometimes when you want to find out a question like that, it's good to ask it. So I just asked that question. Now, do I want to take this pawn on b2? Not so much, I have to say. Not so much. Knight e2. Okay. I want to get my bishop out, but okay. I think I'll just go. I'll just go directly to f5. I'll try to sneak it out that way. Of course, by getting the knight to go to e2, then it doesn't come into e5, which is kind of nice. That can jumpstart offense for white. So the Scandinavian, I think, is a bit of an underrated opening. I think it's actually pretty good for lower rated players because there's a certain kind of pattern of development to it, and that's often comforting when you don't have really difficult decisions about where your pieces go. And I think that could be good, but as long as you kind of avoid the sharpest lines, because then you could get yourself into some trouble. In most of the main lines, white is castling queenside, and then it can get very sharp. But I managed to avoid that. Okay, just develop some guys. Keep everything protected. Be a little careful with my queen. He took away a retreat square from my queen, but it could still come to d8, back to d8 if it gets attacked. h3. Okay. I don't know if he's looking to launch an attack. Ooh, he is looking to launch an attack. Well, I thought rook e8 is a sort of a generic safe move because now my bishop is protected. So the main reason for that was to play my knight to d5, which actually maybe I'm going to do right now. Yeah, I'm going to do that right now. Because there was some possibilities if he moved his knight out of the way and he took twice on d5, then my bishop could be hanging on e7. How to take back. Um, take with the e pawn. There's certainly two ways to go about this, but this does open up my bishop. You know, I took the trouble to get my bishop into the game there. So, all right. There is a downside to that bishop d6 move, though, which I just noticed. Let's see if my opponent notices it. Yeah, well, if he played c4, then I wouldn't be able to defend d5 because of c5, so I might have to open that up, which I didn't really want to do. When you give the bishop pair, sometimes you want to keep those things closed a little bit. Maybe I'll even sneak a battery here. Now he plays rook b1. Oh, he just wants to move the bishop away. Yeah, I'm gonna go for sneaky battery. I don't know if this is the right plan, but this kind of thing can be kind of annoying. He seems to see it coming. Kind of annoying sometimes in Blitz. Craig K. Craig K is playing pretty well. Yeah, I probably should have doubled my rooks on the e file in the first place. Maybe I'll just dunk that knight in there. I mean, he can kick it out, but he's certainly going to weaken his position if he does. Also, White's running out of time a little bit. That's a bold statement. F4. Okay, let's increase the pressure on the E file. Yeah, I think something's got to give eventually. All right. Well, it's not so easy to trade off everything on the E file, so I'll just hold the E file for now. There's also some thought of protecting it with my F pawn or letting him capture and taking back with a pawn. Okay, now I can start to think about that since he kind of defended. Okay. Normally you want to just put your pawns on light squares, but kind of thinking to keep him a little clogged up there. So if F5, maybe I'll go G5, and then he doesn't have that square to work with. All right. I'm threatening rook E2, and I think I'm going to grab a pawn here. How good is that pawn? Well, pawn is pawn. Should I take it? Yeah, I'll take it. Because if he takes my bishop, I think I'm going to get more pawns in the queen ending. And also my king can hide. You know, so I don't think he'll be able to set up a perpetual check for a while, so I'll be able to grab some pawns. Bishop d2. So, probably I should actually keep these bishops on the board. It's in my nature to liquidate. Checkies. Yeah, it's kind of unpleasant. Don't really want to offer the queen trade. All right. Yeah, I think I could grab some more here. Why not? Grab all the... Oh, Craig K ran out of time. That was a good game to start with. A little competitive, but not too competitive that I was scared that I would lose. That's just the way I like it. Thank you, Craig K. Okay, Robbie Williams is up. I don't know if that's his name or he's a fan of the singer or what. Where are you? This clock is not running. Don't know what to make of that. Every now and then the game starts and my opponent is not there. I guess because you put in your challenge and you get in line, and sometimes you're not ready to answer the call when it comes. Unfortunately, that happens about 3 or 4 times each week, it seems. Sometimes you get a chance later on, sometimes not. So basically, you got to be riveted to your chair for 2 hours if you want to get in the game. But I guess we're going to have another one. Pantera Negra. Black Panther. Okay. Lay it on me. Oh. Hmm. Hmm. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I think he might be taking abort for 200. I guess that first game was so scary that nobody wants a piece of me anymore. So who will actually play me? Maybe I won't mention any names until I see a move. Wow. I'm on a bad streak here. Frank 001, where are you? Does anybody out there really want to play? Well, anyway, it's a lovely day in Waldwick, New Jersey. We had a little rain in the morning, but the sun came out. My son's baseball camp went on as scheduled. And hopefully I'll pick him up after this is over if it doesn't go 2.5 hours. So Frank 001 has made a move, so game is on. Ah. He's a Dutchie. Okay. I don't know. Let's try something. When I was a teenager, the Dutch was just considered almost an unplayable opening. Scoffed at by strong players. Because nobody good was playing it in America, and I think for a while I had virtually a perfect record against it, and then eventually I started playing stronger players. Like I went to play in the Soviet Union and I played against Russian grandmasters. And I learned that it's not such a bad opening if the players know what they're doing. So that's how it goes. So this is a type of position usually you get with the black pawn on d5, which is blocking the center, and sometimes the white knight on c3. So I'm going to try to play with a mind to keeping the center a little bit more fluid and see what that does for me. Because you get positions like this from the Trompowsky, but usually there the pawn is back on f7, not blocking the bishop. Now there's always a question, do I go for kingside attack, or do I just kind of play it positionally? Hard to tell. I don't know. I'm just going to put my queen out there. Maybe I'll castle queenside. Maybe I won't. Who knows? Maybe I'll threaten c5 check, sort of. I could try to attack with h3 and g4. I could try to attack with h4. Yeah, so he gets out of there. It's tempting to play something on the king side. How to do it? I think I'm going to go for h3. The only problem with that kind of plan is that that you don't really want to undouble the pawn. So positionally, g4, not such a great move. h5, I think that's one of those cures being worse than the disease. Okay, so now, yeah, I'm definitely looking to play g4. An awful lot of pawn moves here for black. I think this may not end well. All right, here we go. I think he definitely needed to substitute a few piece moves on the. He's played A6, C6, and King H8. I don't think he was ready for this move, Knight H4. I think he needed to substitute Frank 001. Needed to substitute some piece moves like Knight C6 at least. Get some pieces out. And this is the problem with playing lots and lots of pawn moves. Individually, you may say, okay, this makes sense, but the fact that he's got one minor piece out, I've got three minor pieces out, my queen out, and of course opening lines. But not surprising that the open lines are going to, give him some problems. Um, going to start. I'm going to start with this move just for fun. Okay, I could have taken on G6, but I gave him a chance to think about defending that, and he chose not to. So this looks like some issues here for the Black King, I would have to say. Well, there's only two legal moves, Frank, and one of them walks into discovered check, so play King G8. There's nothing to think about. The next move might be harder. The old Dutch crunch. See, this is the kind of thing that I used to have when I was a teenager playing in American tournaments, because everybody played the Dutch would play it to try to checkmate right out of the opening. The guys in Russia, they would play it they'd play F5 to have another pawn controlling the center, and they would play it strategically, and then it wasn't such a bad opening. And now a lot of grandmasters play it. It's actually one of the best openings for a Karo Nakamura. He wins a lot of games with the Dutch, gets a lot of unbalanced positions. Frank 001 is not moving for whatever reason. Okay. Maybe he just got up and walked away. Or maybe, I hope it's not technical problems. It looks like technical problems. But anyway, that's that. Okay, Super GM Bobby F. Who's your favorite player? Who's your favorite player? Uh-huh. Okay. So I've got an extra tempo on an advanced Caro-Kann. Yeah, let's play D4. I have an extra tempo on a C3 Sicilian. Queen A4. Well, he did protect his bishop. Okay, I think this is working out pretty well. Some issues on the light squares for white. Let's see. You don't have to take on F3. You can. I think I'll just recapture. I analyzed similar positions a long time ago. Again, as a teenager, found them to be quite comfy for black. Yeah. I could even just take on F3 here because I'm almost guaranteed to get a pawn back. I think that's actually how I'm going to do it. I think I had something very, very similar, maybe the same position without the pawn in a6. I had this position in a World Cadet Championship, um, again, when I was a teenager. Um, the pawn in a6 helps, actually, because um, it means it keeps the knight out of b5 and things like that. So getting something right back with obviously a nice position, much better pawn structure. Mm-hmm. Now, do I get greedy with rook b4? You know, the rook could run into some problems there. Maybe not all that many. Yeah, let's go for it. I mean, there was something to be said for just pulling back and putting the bishop on b4. Rook back would prevent castling. Bishop b4, take the knight, play technical chess, yada, yada, yada. Okay, I'll just grab this pawn. My rook has a very safe square in c4 on an open file, so I can't see it's going to get trapped. Uh-oh! Snappage! Super GM Bobby F. Oh. And then he plays a quick move, you know, like he planned it. But I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Another quick move. Just going to defend everything. Checkers. Yummy. Defendo. Resistance is futile. You have encountered the Borg. Aha. Oh, it's gonna hurt. Okay, the Super GM Bobby F saw the fork coming. Yeah. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, that opening really worked. Well, e4, d5. Really got to take it, I think. Okay, Broken Dragon. Lay it on me. Oh, quick move. I'm not used to my opponents moving in the first couple of seconds. It's a little queen pawn action. Oh, I know a little bit about this opening. I played this opening a few dozen times for black. One of my specialties. Okay. Broken Dragon does not play my patented bishop. Oh, he plays bishop c3, but he plays it a move late. Yeah, because now I can save my bishop. That's not how I did it. I played it one move earlier. But, you know, maybe it'll work out. You never know. If he goes 95, it'd be tempting to take and take on e4, so he'll have triple pawns. I mean, they won't stay tripled for long, but it's always cool to just say, triple pawns. It's actually, you know, not a crazy idea. I probably would win one of them, but I don't know. Knight d4 is also an option. I don't particularly feel like playing bishops opposite colors. Maybe just rook c1. I'll just go rook c1. Just leave that for the moment. Ooh, wow. Opening that diagonal looks mm, mm, very provocative. Uh, hmm. How to do this exactly? Well, I shouldn't really think about it that long, right? You know, it's like my opponent plays a move that's not so good, and then I just want to think about how to refute it, right? Okay, I'll take this, and then I will go here. Yeah. Now I can take the pawn, but I think I like this even better. Just blasting. And this is like my nightmare in this opening. You know, like things have gone. This is my games when they've gone wrong on the black side. Oh my goodness, it's a bold move. Certainly doesn't look like it should work. We'll just take here. Just like that, huh? I do have to pick up the pace a little bit. Broken Dragon is going to definitely try to put up a fight here. It's not actually that easy just yet. Rook e8. Uh, hmm. It does have that idea of closing the diagonal, so I'm just going to jump in to make sure e4 doesn't shut me out. I do got some bishops going here, up in here. I'll play e4. Should be pretty good. Yeah, let's try that. As I said, I have to pick up the pace a little bit. Mm-hmm. I could have played bishop d5. Actually, that probably would have won a lot of pieces, but I had the idea to do this instead. I have ideas to win pieces other ways. Let's see if that works out. That maybe my queen will come in. Then I think something will be hanging. Also, yeah, I'd probably lots of moves. Bishop e7. Bishop e7 was trapping the rook, I think. Yeah, you can do that, but I kind of like taking this pawn because then I feel like I might get a checkmate in addition to everything else. Yeah. Queen b5. It's really confusing me here. All right. Take that. Okay. I think queen coming in will attack a lot of things that can't be defended. One of them hanging on the back rank. I think that will do it. Hard to avoid a clang. Yeah, Broken Dragon. Yeah, sometimes it's easier for me when people play my openings because I kind of know what scares me about the other side. So far, so good. Who's going to be next? Maybe it's all that break time I've had between games with all the people not there. So, who's next? Quotha. Interesting name. All right, lay on me. Looks like we have a lot of Brits today, so I guess it's popular to play in the evening. If you're American, then you're either out of work or you're taking off from work. Ah, but he's not there. Ah, oh, there he is. He's playing possum with me. All right, well, he has a good sense to take the pawn. A3. Well, this seems awfully slow, so I'm going to go ahead and attack the pawn. Seems like wasting a tempo like that does not seem indicated. I'm just going to develop. B4. Wow. Okay. I feel like that should do something. That D pawn, I don't know. Looks a little sketchy to me. Bishop B5, yeah. It's going to take my knight. Yeah, I guess he is. All right. Still have a nice little pin there. I don't like my pawn so much like that, but at least I don't have any pieces blocked in. Sometimes double pawns kill you because you get pieces blocked in. And yeah. Okay, queen b3. All right. Maybe I'll undouble my pawns. Maybe I won't. I'm actually thinking about taking with the e pawn. I know it seems kind of weird, right? But I have some ideas. So I'm thinking I might use the e file. So much for using the e file, huh? Okay. I have a plan. And this is my plan. I trapped it. Yeehaw. Okay. Now let's start harassing things. Check. Better check yourself before you wreck yourself. I think I might just look to trade rooks and just get in on the file. And not bother attacking the B pawn, just trade. Then he can't really deal with my rooks here. They just come flooding in. Quoth of the hat. Thank you, Quotha. All right. On a winning streak here. Let's see how far I can take it. Who's next? Fay Patzer 1. Does that mean that there's an army of Fay Patzers? This is just the tip of the iceberg. B5. Ah, Polish power. I once won an important game with the Polish in the World Junior. I beat Alan Greenfeld with answering knight f3 with b5. It was a pretty good game too. Kind of one of my favorites. That was the day that my second went into town to deal with his ticket. You know, this is long before there were cell phones. So Mr. Fedorovich was not helping me at all that day, so I just decided on my own. b5. Okay, well, let's just take it. How are you going to take that back? Let's play for some quick Develli. Let's just go quick Develli. Just quick Develli. Oh, bishop g5. Yeah, it's safe. Bishop f3, queen takes, hits his rook. It's good to pay attention to that. Should I have waited for knight f6? Who knows? Getting ready to lift. Is he going to castle? That could be interesting. That could be interesting. Bishop h7. Okay, he's not going to mess around with that. Understood. Yeah, okay. Let's throw that forward. Generic. Disturbing the pawn structure move. Not sure where I'm going, but this is a 3-minute game. Sometimes in blitz you do go with the flow a little bit. Knight to d5. Let's just go. Attack that. Play active. Oh, just right back. Back to Hackensack. Interesting. All right. No trades. I'm not a merchant. But what am I doing here? What am I doing here? That prevents c5, of course, it gives him a big square in d5. So there's a lot of weaknesses in the position on both sides. I did want to put my pawn in a5, and he took that away. Took it away from me. Okay. Well, He's playing this pretty well for a Fay Patzer. I'm not sure if he really should put that pawn on c6. It might be a target later on, but right now the bishop on d5 really is covering up a lot. I'm not sure my knight on h5 is going to be much of a factor. How can I build this? Do I want to play f4? Maybe f4, just to get a real grip on the position. Maybe even to play f5. I don't know. Sometimes positions can be a bit flexible, which is not always a good thing, right? Because then it's not so clear where you want to go. h3, I just thought I'd cover the g4 square. It just seemed like that might be useful. And then probably want to get my queen off the e file. And then, okay, well, he took there. This is not an all clear decision. I'm going to take that way, and I don't want to waste too much time thinking about it. And let's toss that in there. Okay, so he takes, so my knight isn't coming in, but now he has to defend c6, which is not going to be easy. Not going to be easy at all. Yeah, well, but that's quite a cost, because after knight b8, black's development and coordination is now very poor. So there's going to be some issues. Okay, 5, okay. Rook f4. Go for doubling. Yeah. 3. Defending. He can attack it again, and then he's kind of maxed out there. He's thinking about whether to use the queen or the rook, probably. I'm going to keep the pressure on c6. And then I'm going to think about where I want to go from here. All right. You give him a little kick, 17 seconds. Where you going? No? Okay. Now he's going to attack d4, which he should, because maybe I won't defend it, but I see it. Rook takes d4 was an idea. And that knight can't move, so it's very hard for him. I'm just going to build. Now he wants knight d7. So now I'm going to switch to attacking that. Put that there. Let's put h5 in. Did I do that too fast? Maybe I did that too fast. Maybe I did that too fast. Yep, I did that too fast for sure. Okay, but now I'm going to go for this other idea. Okay. e4. Rook f6. Actually did sort of have a plan there. My plan was I just wanted to take my rook out, and then I was going to reorganize everything. But in the meantime, he tried to take advantage and come forward, which was reasonable. He was really running out of time. All right, Fay Patzer won. That was a very tough defense. Ne Medina of 1-2-3. Okay, I think I know what he wants. All right. I mean, there are other openings in the world. I'm not really sure why he's so crazy about this one, but okay. Latvian Gambit. hmm Did I do something different? I think that I played the most obvious moves there, taking and knight c6. hmm The key with any gambit is not to get too hung up on the material, and always remember you need to develop. So if I go bishop c5, he has the normal tricks on f7, bishop f7, queen d5. All right, I'm going to do something weird here, just for fun, right? Keep my pawn defended, right? Confusionary riff. So I want to castle next move. So he's playing knight f3, and I castle my queen e2. But what does that do? I'm defended on e5, so I'm just castling out of it. So I don't think queen e2 makes very much sense. If I had to waste a move to defend it, maybe. I think bishop d6 might actually be a good move there. I don't know anything about. Well, there isn't really any theory. It would be reversed, with me having the white pieces and him having the black pieces, because this is. He gave up a tempo to play the Latvian Gambit. Why doesn't he just play the King's Gambit? He asked me to play King's Gambit because then he can get the same position with an extra tempo, right? Same position with extra tempo. Okay, so now knight f3. Let's get his pieces out. E4, knight g5 is not so impressive. All right, I guess I'll just take the pawn. Now what? I could get the bishop e3. I think I'm just going to develop like this. Just to exert some effort just to take back the pawn on f4 and trade some things. Bishop d5. I'm not sure that that's helping too much, because that pin might actually work in my favor, as he has to watch out for discovered attacks with the knight. For instance, knight d4, not possible. Okay. Wow. Okay. I'll just hold on to my pawn for the moment. Now I don't mind playing rook f8. I didn't want to play it for a while because possible pressure on f7, but with his bishop off the board, that's not a factor anymore. Okay, so he exerted a lot of effort, I think, to get to this position, pawn down endgame. So let's see some execute some endgame technique now. All right. All right. That's interesting. B4 looks like that's kind of a real weakening of the pawn structure. You usually want to keep your pawns protected. What's he going to do about that pawn on c3? I'm not really too sure. Yeah, he played that move kind of quickly without really thinking about it, and now that. All right. Extra protection there. h3, okay. That does nothing, so I'll just bring my king. g4. Well, he's making an awful lot of pawn moves in an endgame. He's like playing for some kind of desperation attack. I don't really see it. g5. Um, all right, I'll go h6. I'm in no hurry here. g5, okay. Take. I don't think that was all that well thought out. Okay. Let's just kick that back, that rook. And three connected past pawns. I think we'll start moving. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. Don't really need to use all three, but I just might. Because it's kind of imposing when you push them all. Okay, I have to make sure I don't hang my rook. Okay, that's mission accomplished. Checkmate. Thank you, Ne Medina of 123. Managed to survive the upside down Latvian and continue my winning ways. Search for Bobby 1. All right, this is Bobby theme going today. 2096. Okay, so maybe he won't show up. I see a high rating. You know, I'm happy for them not to show up. I can keep my perfect record. I haven't had one in several months. I think there was a period where I I went 2 or 3 months in a row with clean sweeps, but that's hard. It's hard to do a lot of talking and play. Because if I was, just really playing, playing for real to win, I'd probably just play quickly you know, and dirty. But it's kind of, more interesting to, you know, try to do something a little more artistic. So we have a Stonewall Dutch. Mm-hmm. This is one of those openings that I eventually learned wasn't really so bad. All right, so let's get those bishops off. All right, so that bishop showed up the other side. So he just trades it off. Okay. Not so crazy. Doesn't have bad bishop anymore. Mm-hmm. Is he really going to play c5, though? I don't know. Sort of discourages it, but we'll see. h6 waiting. Okay. Launching. So much for waiting. Well, it's not how the Russians do it, I think. But of course, here he's gotten rid of his bad pieces. Ah, b5. That's very interesting. I didn't really consider that because now he's in a position to block. So yeah, I mean to block the c file with pieces. So I'm going to go for this, but it's not so much there on the a file. There's a lot of work to do here. C2. Maybe I'll double on the a file. What the heck? Uh-oh. See, I was kind of waiting for that the whole game. Really, I was thinking of it f3, but I was really just kind of waiting for him to put his knight there and trap it. That's unfortunate, but you know, it's life in the big city. I'm sure that search for Bobby One is not happy about that because a competitive position. Yeah. Okay. Still trapped. Okay. Took us back that way. Okay. Ready to trade a knight if it comes into d5. Maybe I should have used the rook for that. Didn't even occur to me. h4. Get back. He's only got one minor piece. He can't afford to trade it, and under any circumstances, really. How about queen f2? Looks ties him down. Let's bring this guy around to f4. That should shut him down. Okay. Put that one first. I don't think I'm that worried about the b pawn right now. Looking pretty good here. If he goes knight d3, I could take and play d5. It's kind of interesting. Maybe not strictly necessary. All right, let's go for it. Go for fun. That was the idea. Sneaky, huh? Everybody like that one? All right, thanks for search for Bobby 1. Played a pretty decent game until, until he lost the piece. Maybe he should have found a way to break in the center. I'm not sure. All right, Felix the Cat. Good old US of A, American flag. I haven't seen all that many American flags today. Everybody's like working or something. Again, I knocked him for a loop with my first move. But I think I got a pretty good streak going here. I wonder to have a shot for the clean sweep. Ah, Felix. Where are you? Time is money. All right. Guess I had a lot to think about there. B6, okay. Let's go. The old Petrosian system. As I played against Korchnoi in the current game of the week. Yeah. That's how the game went. Knight takes. Okay. Go for e3. So White is kind of looking to do something with the big center in this position. This Petrosian system, it used to be, this type of position used to occur a lot in Grandmaster chess when I was a teenager, again, in the 80s. Nowadays, everybody plays G3 and on move 4, like it's the only move that White can play. Chess is, largely about fashion. When I was young, nobody played the Berlin defense, for instance. Knight of Fate, so a whole lot of maneuvering going on here. Felix is maybe just trying to build a little bit of a wall, but usually that strategy doesn't work that well in chess. You gotta, always aim for counterplay. If you're not getting counterplay, usually it's not going to be too good for you in the end. But he's finding ways to try to get some trades. All right, well, let's not make that trade so easily. I'm not a merchant. To use that searching with Bobby Fischer line again. Bishop d6. Be careful. Things somewhat hanging. f7, h4. How do you defend everything? Knight takes, check. Yeah, I don't think that I really have a sacrifice here, although it's quite tempting. Quite tempting. All right. Let's start with that move. Yeah, I'm kind of itching to play knight f7, but No, it's not really right. No, it's not right, but but uh, no, it's not the right thing to do. Not the right thing to do. And yet, the pull is so strong. All right, I'll do it. Try to make things interesting here. Yeah. Uh, mm, mm, mm. It's Oh, I think he missed the important point of the sacrifice is that G6 is hanging. Oh, Felix the Cat. You didn't think it was going to be that easy, did you? I mean, I am a grandmaster. My queen was trapped. No. I had to play knight back to f8, and I was thinking queen h8. I have a couple of pawns. I have an idea to play f4, f5. I'm not sure if it's sound, but it's on the edge of being sound, enough for blitz game, you know, have some fun. Blockader. Go for it, blockader. It seems like I've had white every game. I don't know. Knight c3. All right. Let's see what you got. Uh-huh. He is the blockader. Coming to theater near you. b3. All right. Let's see if this does something. Now he's got to take it. I have in the past had some kind of comical games in this type of variation where I got 94 in a very embarrassing situation for my opponent. But this one is not as clear as uh, as those situations. All right, let's I don't know. Let's have some fun. I don't know. E5. That's such a good move or not, but try to do something. Hmm. Yeah, I know he can take something here. He can take something. A little something something. I'm gonna go here. Could be nonsense. Can't just win these games without giving anybody a chance. Got to take some chances. So one of my big ideas, I'm hoping Bishop will come to b4, in some moment where it does something. Oh, well, he stopped me from doing that, but he is giving back the pawn, which I guess I can't complain too much about. So I take it back. So this could be a game where people don't castle. Yeah, that stops me from castling, but if I can castle, you can castle. Fair trade, huh? Now let me figure out how I'm going to castle. Yeah, okay. Let's got things covered for the moment. I think I'll manage okay with this. H4. Right. Get out. Get out. Right, looks like castling is going to happen after all. It's legal. C4. I wasn't entirely sure you couldn't take on b5 and then take again with the bishop, but I just kind of figured I'd have something. Blockader is getting very well on time. All right. I don't think that I really should worry about the H file too much. I can get my queen out of there. Uh-huh. Just, I don't know. Let's just double. Can't be too bad an idea, can it? Oh, running out of time, blockader. That's slightly annoying. That was pretty darn annoying what just happened there. I have to go quick. C5, okay. Attack you. G4. Oh, he's going quick, because he's very well on time here. I think position is coming out good for me now. Oh. Check. Okay, now that's just a feint. I want to go the other way. Now I've got that set up. And I'm just in time. All right, thanks, Blockader. That was a tough fight. Really, the clock was a big factor um, because probably even when he started with Queen takes e5, he should have just held the position. King f2, Bishop f3, moves like that. Probably was doing okay. Yeah, I did have Bishop d5 check at one moment when it would have just won the rook. YMS General. That's definitely a new opponent. Welcome to Banter Blitz with Grandmaster JB. Seems like the queen pawn produces a lot of more hesitation in the opponents than e4. So this is the Marshall defense. Marshall's worst idea. He had the Marshall attack in the Roy Lopez, which was great. He had the Marshall gambit in the Slav, which was pretty good. And he had this, which is not good. Gives white a lot of center. I'm going to stop for h3. I don't know if it's strictly necessary, but so it's kind of like a bad Grunfeld. Because in the Grunfeld, the idea is that when your knight comes to d5, white plays e4, you're going to take on c3, usually to get a position where you don't have to, where you don't capture on c3, where you discourage black from castling on c3 one way or another. You have to make some kind of concession, like you have to play f3 or bishop d2 or some time wasting move, which is not the case here. That being said, still got to win the game. Yeah, I think I'll just develop for now. Yeah, yeah, there is that. Doesn't really look that horrible for black, does it? Maybe it is. Yeah, I'm back to b8. Not expecting that. All right, let me go for a softening over there. Uh, I probably should have started with queen b3. See, that's the thing about quick moves. The moment you make a quick move, that's always the one that you want to think about. Still, black is not exactly developing all that smoothly here. Ah, what am I missing here? Isn't that pawn hanging? Why not just knight d6? It looked like he was set up nicely for that move. Okay, I'll fall for it. Give some idea about trapping my queen. I don't see it. Don't see it happening. If it happens, it will be a big surprise. I can live with that. Let's get rid of that rook. YMS General. I wonder what it stands for. Must be getting close to the end. Clean sweep is possible. Who would have believed it? Uh-huh. Queen a3, not so fast, right? Texas queen. Mm-hmm. Counterattack. C5. Should I go for that? All kinds of things hanging. But I'm starting up one, so I think I'm good. I thought Queen A2 would have been a more annoying move, but well, it's piece down. And running out of time. We have some lovely parting gifts. Thank you for playing YMS General. Next. Caranx. Okay. Another guy who's trying to lull me into a false sense of security by not making a first move. There we go. I know, usually black is provoking weaknesses first. But I just thought I'd just go there. This is an open I've never played before. Can you tell? This is a game where I'm just playing a lot of fast moves because I don't really know the position anyway. Well, the first games are a bit of a trap, but the last couple games are because after all those games, I am getting a bit tired. So, never know. Right. Pawn takes or bishop takes? Tough call. All right, now I'm going to sit on that d pawn. It doesn't look actually too bad what I got without really any kind of plan. A5. I think I got to ignore that. If I play A5, my rook can be stuck there for a long time. I don't like that. Took a quick peek to see his rook was defended on d1. Now it's not. But c5 maybe is too early, so let's maneuver this guy. Yeah, so I got a pretty decent game. Yeah. I got a little issue with that bishop, don't I? Maybe I should get it out of there. Yeah, I think I better get it out of there. I think they're just going to win that pawn. Oh, I was just thinking that I had 93. I had 93, but because d1 was undefended, but now I definitely have it. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you miss the big things. He was thinking about dealing with knight takes d4, and something bigger came up. So, thank you, Carinx. Next is Abbas Child. So now you have a Slav the other way. This is a simple way to play for black, but it can lead to a passive position. The bishop on c8 obviously is not in the fight right now. Subtle, huh? Okay. Now we put rooks in the middle. I mean, I think you got to think about a move like that when I played rook d1 and I line up all those pieces in the d file. Is that the time to play c5? Sometimes you need to, sometimes you need to get your queen off the file before you can contemplate a move like that. Rook a d1 was meant to stop that move. So I think there's a big problem now. I think in this type of position, black really has to try to avoid issues on h7 by something other than g6, unless the bishop is going to retreat back to g7. Well, okay, that's a queen. Yeah. Oh, boy. All right. Thanks for the game. Okay, J. Russell 2. Seems like I'm getting a lot of white. d5 after some hesitation. And now we have a Slav again. Now we have some kind of weird hybrid. Not sure these moves go together all that well for black. All right, I have a plan. I have a plan with this move, bishop d2. Okay, let's see. Do I have it set up? Yes. This is a cool tactic. Pay attention, kiddies. This one you want to learn. Well, that's a simple variation. Check. But if he takes with a knight, then I take the knight, and then I throw in capture on c6 or e6, and I win a pawn. That's how it goes. All right. So anyway, I won a pawn this way. But it's a very specialized trick because you need a bishop on b4, you need a pawn on d5, and you need a knight on d7, and you need the bishop to not be protected, since it can't be, let's say, a pawn on c5. All right, let's push this forward. All right, forward, forward, march. Generic, aggressive-looking kingside move. Did not get a response. Should I play bishop h7? It might be mate. Yeah, all right. What the heck? Let's go for it. I mean, we're here to have fun, right? Well, I mean, I think you got to take it and come to g6 and hope that that's not mate, but might very well be. But what are you going to do, right? I think you got to challenge because you can't survive this position. So you hope that maybe you can take the pieces, and there's no mate. That's as a just practical measure, it's a good idea that if you have no real alternative to taking sacrifice material, you got to take it and hope for the best. Because this is it looks like it's gonna be mate in a few moves anyway. F6, I think queen h4. I think this is gonna be queen h4, and then he can't even really make room to run. So it's gonna be quick. Hey, but I wasn't all that subtle with queen f4. Moves like that usually do threaten something. Okay, plop. Estimated rating changed. Was that was that somehow a rated game? Oh, somebody's challenging rated. All right, you're supposed to challenge unrated. If you slip a rated game through, then you got lucky. But you want to challenge unrated Blitz 3-2 is how it's supposed to be. It must be getting close to the end. Okay, dare. Here we go. Dare is when when you're comforting a child. Dare. Bishop d3. Okay. See, I feel safer with the bishop on d3 because when he goes after my bishop, I know that I can't get trapped because when I come to g6, it's going to attack something. So I feel good about that anyway. All right, it seems that this is going to be the last game. So let's make it a good one. Oh, taking with the pawn would bring back memories. As I used to play the Caracan with knight e4, with early knight f6 and g takes f6. Looks like Dare is playing this very conservatively, looking to trade, to stay in the game. That's not the worst strategy, admittedly. Especially because he's been playing very quickly. Hmm. I didn't want to play c5 last move because of b4. You know, maybe I guess I could have played c5 instead of rook e8. That really didn't contribute all that much. So we got a position with a lot of trades going. All right, he goes for the bishops rather than trying to mess with my pawn structure, which is probably the right decision. Uh-huh. Let's just pin that bishop for the moment. Really, mostly just to defend my pawn. Mm-hmm. All right, let's trade queens. Mm-hmm. Oh. Oh. No. That's what I was waiting for. h4 was the right move. Up to that moment, I was really kind of surprised at how Dare was playing so quickly and so solidly too. But I think that's a big blow. You're welcome. Yeah, h4. Yeah, and then it's just a tight game. So yeah, so but I'm a grandmaster. I'm gonna be brutal about those little oversights, and there you have it. So clean sweep, woohoo! Back to my winning ways. So the theme was that I was playing d4 and d5 on every game except against Ne Medina of 1-2-3. So I was just wondering if anybody would figure that out and play c4 on move one, which really worried me a little bit because c4 d5, it's really pushing it, but I was prepared to do it. Nobody made me this time. E4 d5 and d4 d5, of course, are kind of reasonable moves. So back to my winning ways. Appreciate everybody for coming out to your home computer or whatever and challenging me. Thanks for those who took me on today, and sorry for the ones who, if there are anybody out there that tried to challenge but didn't get a game in, maybe next time. We do this every month at various scheduled times. Check your local listings to see when my Blitz matches in which day the Blitz will be for July. Um, until then, thanks everybody for playing, and uh, thanks for participating in ICC's Banter Blitz, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye, everyone.